Vegas, baby.
What's good, everybody?
What's going on? What's going on? We're back for another week. What are we at?
Episode 14.
14, dude.
14. Past all the bad numbers. Only good ones now.
I don't
Only
know.
good
15's pretty bad, dude.
No.
Halfway to 30.
No.
Quarter of the way to 60.
Yeah, but the more numbers, the better in podcast numbers. This ain't years, dog.
That's not, dude. That's not what I was learning, dude. They said less is better.
Yeah, okay, there.
Less is more. Walmart,
right.
dude.
But so anyways, we got a guest on today. Only one of them, unfortunately, the other one had a series of events where they couldn't make it. Things came up. But we have and are blessed with the presence of Adam Majkowski.
Lifelong friend. You know.
We both worked with him at Chicken Shack.
Yeah, we did. Yep.
That is true.
What is going on?
Something just happened with the mic. Did you bring it down or something? Okay. Yeah.
Oh, it's all good now?
All right. Minor technical difficulties. Matt, you're fired.
It's honestly fine. I'm just pissed about it.
It's not me, it's you.
Oh, man. Anyways, yeah, dude. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Adam. Just
Well,
That's a little vague.
As said best by Bill Burr, of it's your job as an interviewer to have specificity.
Exactly.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Exactly.
Just tell me to broadly do it because it throws.
What's your favorite sport as of lately?
Favorite sport?
Yes.
Disc golf.
Okay. Yes.
Been doing that constantly.
All right.
Other
Why do you
than
love
that,
it? That's what I want to know. That's the real question here.
You seem really direct and having a reason for these right now. They
does it
seem
sound
pointed.
like
I'm giving.
Why are you so aggressive, man?
No, I, dude, I never ask him these questions. I haven't.
No, we're putting you on the spot.
So
All right.
I do though. The reason I love it is genuinely because it's hard. Because from the first day that I went out, I could throw probably a third, if not less, of the distance that I can throw now, and it's one of the only things that you pick up and you don't know any technique and you're absolutely awful, and someone shows you one tip and you can literally immediately be, twice as good, double your score from the beginning. So it's something that you originally start getting better at quickly, which feels good, and you accomplish it, and everyone enjoys getting better at stuff.
I think Trevor needs that tip maybe a little bit extra longer than most.
It's extremely difficult at the beginning, but I got invited out by friends a few times and just went with them because they wanted to do it. And then I realized, I'm way better the 10th time than I was the first time that I just went out, and then I started wanting to go out. So
Dude, 100%, bro. That
because it's difficult is probably my favorite reason in the end.
I think that's why I really enjoy it too. And it's like, well, first off, for me, it's a great way to get exercise, dude. As lately, I got fat.
And for me, I can play, through the winter, unless it's absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
I'll still play out in the snow and use brighter colored discs and still be able to
100%.
get out and get active because I don't snowboard anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, for things like that, dude, I feel I'm 23, but I don't want to get hurt right now.
That's not, it's not a sport it's too late to get into. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah,
yes,
the real
exactly.
beauty of
There's the
it.
playability too. It's just the only issue I truly have with it, not like the game itself, just myself and doing it. I have terrible rotator cuffs.
Yeah.
And so my rotation, like me rotating my shoulders in general, just having the overall flexibility and throwing, like I can throw a damn good spiral on a football, but if you're outside of 30 yards, I'm not going to be able to throw it more than 10 times, otherwise I'll have like really bad shoulder pain, and it's just not even worth it.
I think if you get the form correctly, it shouldn't really affect that much. You know what I mean?
Well, it's just, that's what I'm saying is 30 yards, that's a good distance,
100%.
but after that, it's a lot of power going into it.
I'm talking about disking. So I think
disking,
you'll be able to do it because it's not as much rotation on your shoulders, more your hips and
it's
everything
just,
like that.
That's
so,
I'm not used to moving my shoulder throwing that way or anything, and plus just my shoulder. It's it's just like the same thing as when I actually have the money to get into archery. It's going to be a whole new muscle memory and getting used to on your shoder because you're not used to cranking back 70 pounds of pressure.
100%.
Back behind
Adam
your
and
ear,
I started doing that for a while. Dude,
I went with a 50-pounder. You don't need more than that for archery. If you're doing a bow.
Well, no, because the thing is, I want to get.
You have a compound?
Well, I want to. I want to get one because here's the thing: is I don't have much money, so. And plus, I'm gonna start going to the gym and lifting specifically for those type of muscles. I don't want to get huge or anything. I just want to be fit for the things I want to be capable of doing, which is basically going for a good run, being able to go for a good distance, hiking in nature, and eventually be able to go hunting. But I don't want to spend them
to enjoy your passions
along the way. So, but I don't want to have to buy I don't want to buy a 50-pound bow. And then when I'm like, all right, I'm ready to hunt, because I'm already going to have to buy hunting gear. On top of that, it's going to be over $1,000 probably. And then on top of that, I have to buy another $500 or $600 bow just to be able to go hunting. So I have the right, because the things I want to hunt are, I'd want to go somewhere and hunt elk.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't use a 50-pound bow. You have to use a 75 pound.
Yeah.
For all that, absolutely. And especially with getting into the compounds and the gear. We went the same way we were especially broke. This is like a high school or just getting out of high school.
Just getting out, yeah.
I got a like 100. I waited till it was on sale at Bass Pro Shop. Got like $160 recurve bow, and then obviously we literally slowly bought arrows. We started out with like 5.
Yeah.
We had like 5 arrows is what we could get.
Yep.
And then slowly got more arrows and got better with the recurve.
We got those really nice arrows though first.
Oh yeah.
We got like the feather tipped, like really long arrows.
The problem is that they're really
recurves
nice
are so
and not
cool.
meant to be shot by amateurs who just destroyed the feathers on them. We fucked them up.
I was watching a video about some guy. He's like, I guess he's the master chef version of an archer for recurve bows,
Yeah.
And so because the trick to
I'm sorry, I just thought of something. I'll say that.
Okay. The trick to them especially is because the arrow has to go around the actual front of the bow, where with like a compound it goes straight.
Yeah.
So that guy's so good that he can throw like an aspirin pill in the air and time like the arrow bending, flexing, and it hits right dead on.
Oh, really?
It's fucking crazy.
I've seen that too. Yeah.
And that's how good they are. That's how archers were back in the day. A lot of them, because that's all they fucking did.
So we set up like
to kill people.
And
we set up a big.
Go ahead.
We set up a big target in my backyard. Right, it was this huge target. So Adam, he does like a sky shot, almost where he like shoots it up in the air, and he does it really lightly,
insanely lightly.
And yeah, because dude,
we're shooting.
They're going.
yards.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
just like a boop.
Yeah, pretty much.
Barely pull the string,
and it will still go out. High enough velocity. I saw that and I was like, well, we're smoking weed, and I wasn't the most coherent when I'd smoke weed, dude. So I grabbed onto the bow and I pulled it to my shoulder. And I let go.
Not all the way, but way harder than he needed to.
Oh, really far. And I thought it landed in my yard, but it ended up landing in my neighbor's
Stuck it
yard.
in his neighbor's, like close to his front yard.
Close to his like glass, sliding door.
Oh, man.
And I didn't know it was there. And then I saw the arrow stuck in just right at the edge of the yard. Like a couple days later, because I was looking for it. Snow, dude. It was snowing, so we couldn't find them.
We also had shot ones that we were shooting straight that accidentally skipped through that you couldn't see. Skipped through into the yard that the neighbor didn't he return them and just leave them on your porch or something?
No, he kept on sticking them at the side of the yard, dude.
Yeah.
Just straight up, just at the side of the yard, dude. He was so pissed. One time he ended up coming over, and then he's like, "Can you just move the target a different way, dude?"
You probably shouldn't have been shooting, bows and arrows in a residential neighborhood in the backyard, but it's all we had at the time.
Hey, I got a big enough backyard. If we would have gone the other way,
it's a weird hobby. That if you want to throw the football, you go anywhere. But if you're like you want to shoot, you can't go up to your local school and just shoot your bow.
Go on the football field, dude.
Yeah, no,
it's fine.
And then there's people running around the track on the outside that catch a skip to the ankle,
light it on fire.
It's a flesh wound, dude.
And we couldn't do dumb shit like the flaming.
We did that.
We did flaming arrows. We did all kinds of like. we would roll basketballs and shoot it like this. We had
That
this
was
old
fun.
basketball, and
That
we
was
would
fun.
shoot at it while it was rolling to try and hit moving targets. And Adam actually hit. I threw one in the air, and off the first bounce on a big bounce, hit it out of the air at a
Yep.
pretty good distance. That was cool.
I did it twice when you rolled it on the ground and then when you threw it up in the air. And I was like really surprised because like I suck at this.
Yeah, I was gonna say he almost kills the neighbor, but then can hit a moving basketball at 20 yards.
But yeah, dude, like what you're saying though, it's really hard on your shoulders though, man. It,
That's exactly why I want to go into lifting.
Yeah.
The only reason why I haven't been going to the gym is because I'm waiting to slim out, and I've been doing workouts alone, like just at the house,
yeah,
strengthening it up a little bit. But also, I'm trying to avoid like
doing some girl push-ups.
the January rush with all the New Year's resolution people
Yep.
too. Is like I hate crowded gyms, man.
Yeah.
And any gym for the first month or first few weeks of the month at least is really crowded.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
And I'm just not eager to get into that. And I'm kind of a germaphobe, especially at the gym, dude. I wipe shit down before I go on it, after,
same with
like,
me.
and
Yeah.
I look at the people and it's like, if there's a nasty person, it's like, all right, I'll wait to come around to that one.
Oh yeah, and when you are working out, especially a lot of times you don't want to be at the gym for an hour and a half too. So if you have to wait for a machine and that's what you're doing, like if you're doing, whatever it is, leg day, and then there's someone on the leg press and there's only a couple people, then that can definitely be like, that's the worst at a crowded gym. I don't want to be at a gym for 2 hours. I just want to try and get it done as fast as I can and get out of there.
Yeah,
I hate
100%.
working out. I'm not a fan of it. I'll do it, but I do it because I have to, not because I love it.
Dude, I'll literally cut my workouts like super short because I'm just like, It's like this guy that looks like he's not fucking doing anything, dude. He's been sitting on that fucking bench over there for better part of 30 minutes doing absolutely nothing, and I'm not gonna wait or tell him to get off.
Just another excuse to dip out early.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm
That's
getting
it.
fat, dude.
I just find that bench is just kind of it's not a good
It's
thing
for
to
show.
lift. It's strictly like you don't actually use that type of muscle group for pretty much anything besides if you're doing football, rugby, anything where you're having to get underneath somebody and lift their chest up so you're under them and have leverage,
Yeah.
like wrestling and
Yeah.
fighting, so that makes sense
100%.
then. But like for what we want to do and like our hobbies, it's not necessary. So I usually do a lot of dumbbell workouts and just like the barbells too. A lot of just shoulder workouts, and then from there, I like doing legs, but I mainly do running
Dude, I
or
hate
like
leg
stair
day, bro.
climbers, if anything.
Yeah,
It sucks.
basically all the stuff that you would need those muscles for, unless you're a professional at that sport. If you're over the age of 20-something, they're all sports you're never going to play. 'Cause you're not going to
Yeah.
get you're not a bunch of 30-year-olds getting together to go play, tackle
Rugby.
football or rugby or, yeah.
Speaking of rugby, dude, they're making a rugby 20 game. I think.
Hell yeah,
Yes.
dude! I used to play the old ones. Those things were fun.
Yeah,
as fuck.
yeah.
They
But
were
they
hard.
said, but they said it's just not doing. It's
Not
not
doing
doing
good.
Is it
good.
through EA? Like
think
the
so.
same people
Oh,
that make
that's-
I
Madden
think so. I
and
think
UFC
it's-
and all those?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
it's terrible. I hate those contracts so much.
Yep.
Like, it's just the gaming industry has so many of those.
Yeah. Well, dude, that's like UFC, dude, used to be really fun, and now I played the recent one. Oh, dude, speaking of UFC, man,
Roll that clip.
dude, roll that clip.
What clip?
Cerrone versus.
We can't. We could get copyrighted.
No, we don't even have. It's not even connected, anyways. So I'm just
okay.
There's
joking.
no video.
Yeah, I was just about
yeah.
to say, but we could because
No, we're not gonna do that.
but also,
you could do
roll that
photos.
clip.
For you guys that did not see it, and I don't care if I'm spoiling a fight that's a week old now.
If you haven't heard by now, you're under a pretty heavy
Yeah,
rock.
exactly. You're under a big rock, and we're probably not the one that's feeding you this. So Cerrone got knocked out after, well, it's
40
TKO
seconds.
after 40 seconds. Yeah, 41,
I
42.
know. Lost me a bunch of money.
Hey, man.
Lost me money too, dude. Okay, dude. So what I want to say though is Cerrone looked so good coming out of the gate, dude. Dropped a punch. You know what I mean? Dude, it was a nice cross that Connor did, and he dropped it. But Connor's knee followed up, and I've watched it 5, 6, 7 times
His
now.
like mid
His
thigh.
thigh hit him in the face, which just dazed him enough that he could get the overs on him. He could get the overhooks on him.
Well,
Dude, and now his game over.
it was literally like a Masvidal Askren with like a tenth of the power. That's what that was. Is
Yeah.
because he went to go swing and he fully leaned into that thigh, hit him in the side of the neck all the way up his jaw. Dude.
Yeah.
That's what people are. That hit him hard right away, but that's the wrong move to do on Connor. You know what he does coming into a fight. He's coming at you, starting
Yeah,
hot. You're
100%.
gonna get hit by an elbow, his fucking piston of a left hand.
Yeah.
Like that's what.
Yeah, ask Jose
you have to
Aldo
look at
about it.
Yeah,
Cerrone's
exactly.
last 5 matches before that, dude. He's lost 3 out of 5, I think.
But
4 out of 5.
Here's the thing. So the reason I bet on Cerrone is because everything made sense for him to win. He's actually been on a bit of a comeback and has won a couple in a row here. I think 2 or
Yeah,
I think
he
he's
had a
won 2
2-win
or
streak.
3.
2-win streak.
I think and he looked amazing. Connor hasn't fought in a long time. Last time he fought at 170 was against Diaz, and he is so slow. He looked so slow against Nate. Comparatively, like Nate was outboxing him easily, and Connor's biggest attribute is his speed. So I was thinking, at 170 again, it's going to be difficult. Donald's been doing good. He has confidence, all this. But the one thing that I forgot about, because everything pointed to Donald Cerrone
Especially
being able
numbers.
to get this upset, but the one thing I forgot about was that it's Conor McGregor and that he is a fucking genius and was able, in my opinion, I think the shoulders had the biggest effect, and it's such a move that no one does or no one thinks about, but it's the
never
type
been
of stuff
done.
that Conor pulls off all the time, and he goes with, like, he does these little things that he learns by watching people and does them. It reminds me of like something John Jones would do that's like a creative thing that he knows, you know? And so he throws the shoulders in, and if you've ever gotten hit directly in the nose or like raccooned where you get hit in the nose and you get black eyes from it or anything like that at all, as soon as you get hit, you can't see anything. You feel like you got hit by a flashbang because your nose is exploded. And if you watch it, that shoulder hit him dead in the nose, broke his nose. And it's
It was
like
instant. You saw the dent, dude.
oh yeah, as soon as I saw that, I immediately was like, oh fuck, I lost. Okay, it's all over. As soon as I even saw the shoulders and it hit him and I saw that there was immediate blood splatter, I'm like, broke his confidence, broke him down immediately. He just got hit and he doesn't because he wasn't prepared. He wasn't flexing for it, wasn't ready, just
No, that's what he got. That's that.
Didn't he try to throw a high kick too?
He hit him.
I think
he threw a
Cerrone
left
threw a-
high
No,
kick.
Connor
hit him through
connected.
it.
Connor
No, but Cerrone went for a kick, I believe, dude. If I watched that correctly, I don't know if I was
don't
watching a highlight or
remember.
something of a different fight with him, but
I can't say it
Cerrone
didn't
normally
happen.
KOs people with the
With the
high
kick,
kick. He
yeah.
normally does. I don't think he threw one at Connor, but
yeah.
if
Well,
he did, it would have been out of desperation because he was
maybe he
just
went for one
blinded
and went for a roundhouse or something.
Yeah,
It was garbage, dude. I was very upset because, dude, that's like a fight that almost you're taking down a legend and you have it all in your hands and you went for way too much. I think he, dude, he should have been backing off the entire time in the fight.
Connor.
No, Cerrone. Instead of going
yeah.
right at and he lunged, dude. He like went into it like an idiot.
It seems
dude.
like he was trying to go for a takedown right away and take it to the ground because he knew Connor was going to come out hot and he wanted to keep the tempo slow for the first round.
Good,
and
yeah.
drag it out and then strike with them the second round.
Well, what he said was he wanted to beat him in his own game. So I think that's why he jumped in like that, because Connor's known for jumping in like that. So
Yeah, especially because Cerrone. That's what. What's his name? I was watching his podcast. Chael Sonnen.
Chael Sonnen.
Chael Sonnen. I always
Sonnen,
say
yeah.
Chad. I don't know why, but Chael Sonnen. He was saying is that for all of his game plans have always been to keep the tempo back and then come in the first round and really actually establish a tempo rather than performing in the second or most times third round. That's where Cerrone really comes to fruition.
Yeah.
He
Cowboys. always
needs
been
to
a late
establish.
starter.
Yeah, he's always a late starter. That's not a bad thing because that my opinion was like I wanted McGregor to win and I knew he was going to win, but I can't. That doesn't take anything away from Cerrone. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, his career's over." Hell no, it's not. He's
Yeah.
still a legend.
Yeah.
He has the most wins in the
100%.
UFC.
Yeah.
and
Yes, he does.
you know, and he's like an amazing fighter. Has a good attitude about it. And like, look at what happened with his grandmother after like his whole family loves Conor and he loves his family. But
yeah,
Look,
that was
it's-
amazing,
I
dude.
highly
It's-
recommend if you also don't know Cowboy at all as a person or like haven't ever heard him talk or interviews or anything, look up him on the Joe Rogan Experience there's a deep sea. It's him about going deep sea diving. And it's like a 15-minute clip I'm sure that they have eventually that is about Cowboy explaining what happened when he went deep sea diving, and then he at one point thinks that he's gonna die, and about all the emotions going through it and everything, and you get to know him so much better because like it's almost you literally as he tells the story, you feel like you're there in that moment while he's explaining like his death and what he thinks is gonna happen. So after hearing that, when I was watching this fight, that's another reason why I bet on him. Because I was like,
you know what it
I'm
reminded
behind
me
him
of?
as a person.
He's a pressing story.
Such a fucking good guy.
Yeah, exactly. You know what it reminded me of was the story of like 127 hours. That guy that got.
Yeah,
Dude, it almost reminded me like.
I think it's more intense. I think it's a better story and would have made a way better movie.
100%,
than the
dude.
guy stuck in a rock the whole time.
Yeah,
They're gonna make a joke movie out of it though, like starring like Will Ferrell. He's got a cowboy hat on because Cowboys Cerrone. And he's like, I'm down here. Get me out.
but so
And he gets taken to a
what you
different
said
world.
about him at 170, I agreed though with Nate Diaz especially because he was super slow, but he was out of the game for so long, and he accepted that fight at 170. He had like 2 years to train at that weight, and truly, because when he fought
Who?
Nate Diaz,
Conor.
McGregor,
Oh yeah.
when he fought
Yeah.
Nate Diaz, he like blimped up kind of quick. That was within a couple months that he went from like saying that it was going to be 155 and then said fuck it 170.
Even the second one though, he barely won, and he had a bit more time.
It was by decision.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was, and he had quite a bit more time, and so that's why the only reason I didn't believe in him. But then I got to remember he's also a genius of a fighter. So who even knows how fast he truly was? Because that he didn't show like insane, like it's the beginning of a fight. You don't know how his cardio would have been or anything. Still at 170, still doesn't show it moving forward. Anything could happen with the next fight. And I love Conor and hope he is like that. But that was so fast. It's almost like you can't even. All you can judge off of that is how intelligent he is as a fighter and how technically like he was able to set everything up. But as far as a cardio strength, all that still at 170, still kind of a mystery to me. But the other thing is, like you were saying, he was off for so long. He also has probably been living more around 170 plus and has actually gotten used to that. And so versus
Built
when he
up,
was 155, I'm sure he was watching his weight a lot more.
Yeah,
even
weight
in the
cuts.
off season.
The whole thing about fighters going in and doing weight cuts, a lot of them are coming to the realization that those damper you and you can't rehydrate your brain. And then you can rehydrate your body, but not your brain to think and perform properly within that day or day and a half period before you fight.
They don't
Where
allow
now-
IVs anymore.
Yeah.
Dude,
no
that's
IVs.
that like this sport is the most fucked up thing is because like it's just detrimenting a person's body. And like,
Well, a lot
if
of
you-
fighters are fading away from that, though.
Oh,
They're starting to
100%,
realize that
yeah.
their performance hopping up a weight class or even two.
who was the one that was fighting the other night that fights at a natural weight? He doesn't bulk or lose for fights.
There's quite a few fighters.
He's an
but-
African American dude. He was fighting. He was early. It was not the prelims, but it was it was in the main card.
Yusuf?
Yes.
Sadiq Yusuf.
Yeah. He fights at a natural weight. He doesn't go up, go down. You know what I mean? He doesn't change for other people, so he's fighting naturally every time, pretty much. So
Yeah, let's roll that clip.
yeah, roll that clip.
Sadiq Yusuf
I like
being
that.
natural.
Roll that clip.
Yeah, but I mean, it's some of the
Just
best.
him hanging around.
Most of the best fighters of all time, they mainly fought at like a natural weight. If you look at like Cain Velasquez, Fedor Emelianenko, Forrest Griffin.
Well, especially it's the best for a heavyweight.
Not Forrest Griffin,
I feel like
fucking,
heavyweights.
Brock Lesnar?
Brock Lesnar. No, that guy
Bruce
was
Lee.
roided up. No, I'm thinking his name will pop up eventually.
Mark
but-
Hunt?
Mark Hunt too, yeah.
I feel like the heavyweights have a huge advantage because there's such a big gap, though. I think it's 200 to 265. You have to be under 265.
Well, light heavyweights up to 205, I believe.
So 205 to 265 then?
I think
That's
so.
heavyweights. So Francis Ngannou is one of the only guys who has to cut weight in heavyweight, who was naturally like
He might,
285.
he might
Yeah.
go to boxing though,
What's
man.
he probably should.
Yeah.
honestly,
Should, dude.
so he doesn't get taken
He
down.
could be in the top 10
He could-
easy.
oh,
Like
he could be a Wilder, like for sure. As far as being able to take people's Deontay Wilder, like being able to take people's head off in power.
Yeah.
But
kiss of death, as a
yup.
lot of people call it.
But
Kenny Florian or whatever his name is.
I just think I think heavyweights have a huge advantage because if you're naturally 245, you're not going to want to bulk up to get up to 265 or anything. So with that, with weight cutting, like that, but I don't get how every weight class can't be like that somehow. That can't have, because all the heavyweights are fine, and you even have guys that are, natural 245s versus like Stipe Miocic is like a 245, beat the crap out of Francis Ngannou, picked him apart slowly over the course of the whole fight, and Francis naturally 285 and cut down to it. So Francis was the one who did a weight cut, and he got beat by a dude who's naturally 40 pounds less than him because he had to cut 20 pounds.
Yep.
Like,
Of course, yeah. I mean, that's such a downside to it, and that's why there's a debate too. Is that they should add more weight classes, simply for the fact is that you can find that weight that's your niche, and there's more than enough fighters to be able to have that many weight classes,
like an ultra heavyweight kind of thing. Yeah. I think that'd be a great thing for the sport because that's just
there's not enough people over 265.
and one between
but
155 and
they'd
170.
have such a smaller class for it, and I think that'd bring by more competition for people to like
do
join.
a cutoff at like 240 and then do 240 plus, because then if you're over 240, you're already just massive. At that point.
That's
but,
true.
If you're too naturally, let's say you're naturally like 230, and so if you were to cut, you'd be down at like 205, and you're versus to do 265. Dude, that sucks. That's 30 pounds heavier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is true, man. But
I mean, a lot of fighters would take that risk because that guy that's that much heavier, dude, would gas so fucking fast.
Oh, 100%. But I think that would,
and you're such
it
a
would
big
definitely
guy
give
anyways.
it would definitely
That's
give
the-
people who don't fight more incentive to have a title because there's such
Yeah.
less competition. There's
Like,
less people.
I
to
think-
fight
What is there,
against.
like 12 weight classes?
I think if they do create more, I like,
Flyweight, bantamweight, featherweight,
welterweight,
middleweight,
lightweight,
light heavyweight,
light heavyweight.
There's one that I'm missing. There's literally just one.
I think if
So
even
there's
if they
at
do-
most, let's say, just 10 weight classes, dude. We
Yeah.
could bump that up to 15 to 18 weight classes.
Rey Mysterio weight.
I
Rey
think
Mysterio.
even if they do make
Just like-
more too, I think that what you'll have is a lot more, as Conor McGregor would say, is champs, or even multi.
Mm-hmm.
There'd be a lot of people who would go up and down in weights if there were 5-10 pound differences,
And it
be
wouldn't be
able
as dangerous.
Yeah.
and
As
they get just as
career.
famous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're
100%.
a three weight class champion,
Yeah, exactly,
You know,
dude.
you get-
Exactly.
Let's
Yeah.
face it, a lot of fighters have personalities. Because that's the thing I love about a lot of sports related, the people that are in the higher rungs, especially in sports, is that's such a whole different level of mental fortitude than just being good in a career.
Yeah.
To some degree, where it's like they know them.
Yeah.
And so like their confidence comes out and they have their true character, and some people are showers, and so and that there's more than just
Mike
those
Vick.
big guys that are up in there right now that are a big show and they're fun to watch. Do you know how much more fun it would be if you could like look at, instead of like whatever there is 40 fighters in one weight class, what if there's 120 spread out between so many, like between 6 weight classes, and so there's a lot more
Sure.
potential for people to have the fame, like you said, and get the
Yeah,
belt,
yeah,
and have
exactly.
more incentive for the weight classes. And I feel like a big issue though is the sponsorship still, like the Reebok deal. Like fighters don't get a lot of money now compared to what they used to.
I think there's gonna be a influx soon because they're realizing that UFC is definitely growing. And like I just rewatched the interview with Joe Rogan versus that boxer promoter. Have you guys ever watched that?
No.
He's like on
Yeah.
CNN or something like that. And-
the one where he
Oh.
says
And
their
it's-
sport is dying.
Yeah, and I think that's so true because I
Yeah.
watch boxing nowadays, dude. I don't see ever anything that promotes a fight for boxing. I see things on
I do.
TV. Well, dude, more often so I see UFC
it's just-
promoting fights.
Well, it's the same. I would say it's the same as the UFC as far as I see. Well, I see a lot of UFC stuff, but you only see it about 5 guys. There's about 5 boxers. I'll see a Wilder. I'll see Tyson Fury if he's
Andy
fighting.
Ruiz Jr.
Yep, you'll see. There's 5 guys. Canelo and Triple G. There's a few. Pacquiao when he was there, but like there's a few
Yeah.
guys that you actually hear about their fights. Other than those guys, like if you're not in the world of boxing at all, you don't know of anyone else.
And that's 'cause
literally.
So
they've
the
hoped-
only thing that's really keeping it alive, though, dude, because you have that competition. I think UFC is more competitive, even with betting, but there's more money right now in boxing, where there's a bigger pool, there's a bigger purse. You know what I mean? That's
Well, there's more people there's more brands that have sunk their teeth into that industry.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
Exactly.
that's going to flip so quick. I give it max 10 years before boxing's almost
almost
obsolete.
dead. Yeah,
So-
dude.
I-
Yeah.
Not
I
obsolete
gotta
as a
throw up a
sport, as
question here.
entertainment.
What's up?
What do you guys think about the idea that the betting odds were extremely heavy in Connor's favor extremely heavy that Connor was going to win, even though he hasn't been, hasn't performed in a long time, did all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then Connor does win instantly. And there's a lot of people out there saying that they believe that if someone wanted to make a lot of money and they took all the different bets that everyone bet on Cowboy because the ridiculous odds, like Dan Bilzerian, you can look it up, put $1 million on it
Cowboy.
in cash, went to the casino in cash with millions and stacks of $1,000 bills, covered a table, and put it on Cowboy, and then he lost. So the casinos, due to the odds being so heavy, like it's a 2-1 or more if you bet on Cowboy. In Connor's favor. They would, if with all the people that bet on Cowboy, which there was a ton, they would make a ton of money, and it was a very quick fight that didn't make a lot of damage. So if you were Cowboy and someone said, hey, I'll give you $25 million to fight Connor and lose, it'll only be in under a minute. So you don't have to take a ton of damage, but you're going to have to take some hits. But you'll get this much money, X amount of money. What would you guys think about that theory?
Cowboy wouldn't take that shot at his integrity like that ever.
Dude, well,
I'll set up your family, $25 million.
Yeah, dude, he's nearing the end of
He has stupid money already.
He's 32, dude.
He has stupid money.
He's 36, isn't he?
He has the most fights in that UFC, dude.
Connor's 32. I know,
he has
but
stupid
dude,
money.
wins.
you got to think
Most wins,
he's
stupid
not,
money.
dude. He was never like a title weight fighter. He was never like the showman. So for him getting a huge cut would be
always
like
on the edge.
Yeah, exactly. He's really always been on the edge, dude. I remember watching his fights and I was like, dude, this guy's really good, but he just doesn't have. He didn't have like the overzealous personality that they wanted to be a title weight fighter. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, of course.
I got
but
something I've always wanted to say.
So
I'm wondering, what is Cowboys? How many wins? How many fights does he have? Jamie, will you bring that up?
it's just that, like, he has a brand for himself now, though, too. And it's like,
also, Jamie, can you
you
hold
think
me up
that
how old he is?
it's not like he
No.
wants to keep. It's not like it's his last
Thank you,
fight
Matt.
and he's going on a bang. Either he wants to
love
stay.
you.
He wants to keep fighting. He even said right after the fight, he's like, "I'm coming back. Like, this ain't the end at all."
Oh, of course.
Like, and he's
a
32.
badass.
It's
He's
not
an
the end of
eternal
his career,
badass.
dude. There's fighters that go up 40 plus sometimes, and he's one of those people that could do it, but he would really need to fix his mobility issue.
Yeah,
He is
100%.
stiff, man.
100%. I do
Especially at the
agree.
beginning of the fights, and that's
Yeah.
He's 36 years old and
36.
And in mixed martial arts, he's got 36 wins in kickboxing, 28 and
What's his loss? What's his loss in UFC?
14.
So-
36 and 14.
There's no contest. He has one.
Okay, dude, that's good odds, man. But
It's close to. I mean, it's leaning a little towards like 3
a lot of
wins
his
to a
losses
loss.
have been coming later. He
Yeah.
just had this last
Yeah.
little streak, but there was quite a bit of losses.
no, 100%, dude. I think he kind of he almost fell off. You know, dude, in the spectrum of like what they were looking for.
But as far as an entertainer, he's because he has his own like thing and style, and being Cowboy and being that person,
Being the
and
Southern-
American
the-
badass.
yeah, he
He'll
represents-
Southern
always
hero of
have-
UFC, dude.
Yeah.
He'll always have that fandom. 'cause
Exactly.
he deserves it. He's an awesome dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, so but I mean I feel like the odds were in McGregor's favor, especially betting wise, for the sake of is getting closer to the fight. People could tell that his mental state changed, and he wasn't that boisterous and like cocky fuck anymore as much.
Who? Connor?
McGregor.
Yeah.
So he got a lot more into mental game, and he realized that he was falling off, and his performance wasn't as good as it should be. Because I mean, if you look at Nate Diaz fight with him, both of his Diaz fights compared to how he like just kind of looked, he looked not as like chunky compared to what he looked at 170 back then. He looked more like into 170, like it's solid 170. So he was in there mentally. He's known to be a show, like he's a playmaker. I wouldn't say he's the knockout artist because he has a lot of TKOs,
Yeah.
but he's a playmaker.
100%.
For sure.
No, that ties into Adam saying he's incredibly smart. He
His
is one of the
combos,
fucking
yeah.
smartest. He's one of the smartest fighters I've ever seen, but he is also one of the dumbest, dude, with his cockiness.
The way
dude.
he carried himself.
Well,
I feel
yeah,
like that's
it literally
gonna
gets in the
change,
What
fucking
made
way,
him who
dude.
he is and made him that's part
but
of
it
his
also-
intelligence. You say the dumbest, but that's what got him to be the millionaire that he is today.
But
But then he
is
didn't
also
get submitted and
cockiness coming in.
TKO'd and shit and lost
But
matches.
that is also
and, you know.
responsible
that
for
humbled
his
him
losses.
as a person and like integrity wise
Yeah,
that ended up doing
100%.
it. But his young, youthful cockiness when he was coming up and
That was
knowing that he
attractive,
was
dude.
going to
That
be
was
a
attractive
champion,
to people,
that's
dude.
what got him
Yeah.
to the game.
A young Irishman.
So
Yeah.
maybe he stuck
Oh,
with it a
fuck you,
little
mate.
too long.
Whatever.
Australian,
you know.
bro.
Yeah, I just sorry.
I think it's once you get to the top, maybe don't be the hardcore champ type of deal. Like once you're already there, then you're you're not supposed to punch down. People say so. Like once you're up there, then when he was cocky, maybe it was a bad look. But coming up, that is what I love. That was my favorite. That's what made me tune in. I was
Yeah,
I'd love to see
100%.
it.
He definitely was a showman. But dude, I think that was also his responsible for a lot of his losses was the complete arrogance, his lack of trying to his lack of trying to
Immersion.
focus on any sort of ground game or anything, dude. That's his biggest problem.
Yeah, I
ground
don't
game.
think that he didn't not focus on it. I just think it's not his natural thing, and especially like even cockiness though. People all think like Anderson Silva being like one of the he's a great and everything. He got knocked out because he was
Chris
playing
Weidman.
with Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman,
Like leaning
dangerous.
back, like-
Leaned
Yeah.
back, shook his head around, and Chris Weidman didn't even catch him with a normal punch. Missed on a punch and,
And they-
hammer
yep.
fisted
Yep.
him, just swinging his arm backwards.
Yep.
And it's like Anderson's known as a legend, and this guy Connor just talks shit at the press interviews. I think it didn't affect him as much in the fights. I think he was actually much smarter about it than
I would say
what
so.
people realize. I think he
He
was more.
still did do the drop hands, back behind.
but he never got hit during those
he
moments.
never got-
I know, but
yeah.
he would do it at a safe distance. But that, okay. But when
But
you're
that's
going
what-
up
yeah.
against somebody like Nate Diaz, dude, that is amazing
I
ground game,
But
dude.
Nate fucked Connor mentally because it's Nate, and when Connor tried to
Yeah,
talk
100
shit, he didn't get under his skin.
Yeah, exactly. He's like,
Nate
fuck you,
left-
bro.
Yeah.
Connor didn't really talk shit during the fight and act like that really
Nate mentally
against Nate, but beforehand he talks shit. But compared to his other fights, he would do that when he already won. Because if you listen to Nate, that's like he talks shit the whole fight, no matter what. But if you listen to him, he's like, "Oh, I hit him, I pegged him a few times." Then Connor goes for the takedown. He's like, "Oh, so now you're a wrestler, huh?" Like because he was rocked pretty hard. So there's a point. Those fighters are so good; they know when they've won the match before it's over.
Yeah.
Some people don't realize it, but they're the ones that are actually in that ring and they're tuned in, and they're the ones that have been fighting for the past however many years. So
So
Yeah.
did knock him out.
All in all, it was a great fight.
Yeah.
I would have
Yeah,
been pissed if I
we want to see
paid for
that
that.
knockout, if we want to see
Let's-
that, I did pay for it. I bought ESPN
Yeah.
Plus and everything
Ah.
for it. Luckily, you get the membership, so you got the year.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
why don't we
exactly.
watch that knockout again? Roll that clip.
Hey man, I won't say it. I won't say it on here because I don't. With all the people that listen, you know,
Yeah.
I don't want too much traffic on this site. But I
Yeah.
found a streaming service that's free that shows all the fights. You don't have to pay anymore. Because ESPN Plus won't show the pay-per-view fights. It'll only show the live fights and then the pay-per-views after they're already done, like weeks later, sometimes months.
Oh, okay.
So it's still a good app, but you won't get the live pay-per-views. You'd still have to pay for it or go to B-dubs or whatever.
Oh, the McGregor one came with it, I think.
It did, but you paid $80.
For how much is ESPN Plus?
$20 for a year. You paid $60 for that thing.
Oh yeah, I paid like $100 for whatever the bundle was. I didn't even know what I was buying. It was just like $100 for
You
a
got
year.
Disney
I was
Plus
like,
too,
I think
probably.
Yeah,
I,
you probably got Disney Plus as well.
other
I
shit.
already have Disney Plus.
And
Oh, that's
Hulu.
great, dude. No, that's still good though.
It's
I mean,
good,
you
yeah.
got-
But I mean, $60 for one fight,
have-
and it's
you
lasted
got
40
double
seconds.
Disney
I don't
Plus,
have cable.
dude.
I don't have cable anyway. I just have all the. I have,
Mhm.
I
So you don't
have
need
Hulu,
cable.
Disney Plus, all those.
You don't need cable.
Netflix. So now ESPN Plus is new one added to the array. Still cheaper than cable.
So,
Yeah, you don't need cable.
have you guys
anymore.
watched The Witcher?
No, I want to start watching it, but I have to finish.
Okay. Strongly recommend it.
Oh no, I'm not homosexual. I'm sorry.
What?
What?
Wait, what?
No,
I'm
yeah.
Dude,
sorry.
that is such a good fucking show, dude. Seriously. All right. It's that popular. I wasn't like sold on it right away. Shut your mouth. Okay, because I saw Henry Cavill was playing
Exactly. You hear that? Because I didn't want to watch it till I saw Henry Cavill was going to be playing. Is he
No,
shirtless a lot of it?
no, I didn't want to watch it because him. Dude.
Oh, okay,
yeah, because
okay.
because his role as Superman sucked. It was awful, dude. He sucked as that part. But he came in, dude. He did a great job, and now they're making a Witcher movie for Netflix, dude, because it's that fucking popular. It's not gay to watch The Witcher. It's gay if you don't watch The Witcher.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm obviously kidding. I've never heard anything about The Witcher, so.
But we're starting out on a real light note there. I don't know when it comes out. There's no release date. But I want to get real fucking deep with this shit because I found a lot of like scary articles about, basically climate change, dude, and like how much like it's becoming like a fucking.
What's that have to do with The Witcher?
Nothing. I was just reading off an article.
You saying that was just a light article?
Yeah,
not
light
much to
article.
it, yeah.
No, let's get a little bit.
Okay,
a little scary,
right,
guys.
I thought you were saying you wanted to get deep into The Witcher. I'm like, I just said I've never seen or heard of it
We're going
before.
balls deep in The Witcher, baby.
Yeah.
Right up.
Hey, bro, you gotta
balls
watch
deep
it,
in Henry
dude.
Cavill.
I swear to God, dude. Like you've probably never played the. No, you've never played the game, but
Nope. Wait, are you telling me it's a TV show based off of a game?
video game. Yeah,
Based off the video game?
actually based off a book. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's based off a book.
If it's based off a book, okay. If it's based purely off a video game, then immediately I'm like, it's even more.
What, you
kinda
don't like
discrediting
Pixels? You don't like Pixels with Adam Sandler? It got 30% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'd rather watch the Emoji Movie.
Oh, Lord.
If that tells you anything.
Well, anyways, okay, so yeah, basically the world's like kind of in shock right now. Basically, a lot of shit's happening that is kind of scary. So I was watching a documentary recently, and it was about actually it was 60 minutes. It was about how the streets of Venice are being flooded. Have you heard about that?
Isn't it with like shit water and stuff?
It's just ocean water, whatever.
it is.
Yeah, it's probably got
like
shit water and
sewage and
stuff.
shit water.
Yeah.
too.
Probably got stuff like that. Did you go there?
I was in Venice for a while. The whole city is slowly sinking.
Yep.
I stayed at a hotel right near San Martino Plaza, which is the one that fully floods like 3 feet high at this point, where there's
Yeah.
shops and stuff.
Yeah.
When I was there was a dude playing a piano in a full suit, sitting at about 8 inches of water, just up to like his calves, but
Where
still
you
sitting
had to-
out front of a restaurant playing at the
You got
time.
boots and stuff like that to walk around?
No, we didn't go towards we walked the other way of the island. The island's literally like tilted. One side's lower, so San Martino Plaza is one of the lowest ones. So where we were at, we were able to walk by without going to the water.
Yeah.
But down in the main plaza, it's supposed to be the most popular area. It's like one of the most flooded because it's like also where a lot of the boats come in and stuff. But yeah, you use boat taxis to get around there, everything, because it's all there. But if you take some of these tours that you can take, they'll show you there's like this one building that's tall that's literally leaning at like a 15-degree angle or more, just leaning over sideways. And he's like, yeah, the
Like
one's
about to fall in.
and the guy's like, yeah, the one side's slowly been just sinking, the one side of the
Wow.
building. So they basically said they can only keep it up for so long. But yeah, eventually all of Venice is just
it's a
going
lot
underwater.
It's a
nothing
lot
they can
higher
do.
right now, though. It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. Now it's about 3 feet. Shop owners are waist high. Yeah.
Oh,
dude.
wow.
Yeah, it's like really bad right now. They weren't expecting that to be this bad. This year it's the worst that it's been in over 200 years. And it
you
reached
said
that.
shit water, and that actually is, yeah, if you go in the wrong time of the year, especially like with
I've heard
low
it smells
tide type
terrible.
stuff.
You
Oh,
mean
it's
poop?
literally like, so when I went, wasn't that bad. You could smell it lightly in the background, but I could tell they were saying if you go in the
shouldn't
wrong
left
time of
it.
the year when it's low tide, it's basically like, yeah, they're like, well, imagine if you just had like dead fish and shit in the bottom of these canals, and then it gets low enough where they're just in the air. They're like, it's like shitting in a toilet, but it peeks out of the water.
Yeah.
It's that much worse.
Well, now they're making it like they're, I don't know if it's their mayor or president or something. Well, they're not their own separate thing, but it's like some sort of senator or something like that. He's making an effort to make the world national global warming whatever. It's like a society to make sure or to bring awareness. It's like going to be the hub for that.
What about
they're
the
making
Paris
it in
climate
Venice.
change thing?
They're making it in Venice, but that's going to be like the hub,
So
and they're
it's-
and
okay.
they're going to use they're going to do like all the experiments there. You know what I
because
mean?
the water's rising.
Yes,
faster
exactly.
there
That's
than
the best
expected.
place. to do it.
Yeah, the one guy was telling me, he said he thought it would only be like 25 years when I was there. He said, yeah, I think it's only going to be like 25 more years till it goes out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's insane, dude.
that sucks. It really does, because that's one of those cities that pretty much everybody knows about. One of my favorite books that I read as a kid is, what was it? Lord of the Thieves or whatever. I forget what it was called.
Lord of the Flies?
Atlantis?
No, it was like, it was the Thief Lord, I think.
Well, I've never heard
It
of
was
it.
a really
yeah.
really good book, and it was based in that city. And it was just like a bunch of kids that were like homeless orphans that got into an abandoned building, and they all lived together and created like this Robin Hood band of kid thieves going around and stealing like a
really
bunch
good
of
book.
jewelry and jars. Honestly, dude, you should go. I would go and read it
The
back.
kid's book?
It's not. I wouldn't even say it's a kid's book. I'd say it's more for like a 20-year-old,
Just like a
a
timeless
young
book.
adult read.
I got
to be
you.
honest,
I
but
got you.
because when I read it, it was kind of hard. It's a very thick book.
Yeah.
Fun read. Like even what Am said, yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's a really
Definitely,
good book.
dude. I'll definitely read it. But dude, it's crazy, man, because now we have. So that was just something I saw in 60 Minutes, but this reminded me of that. A sea foam flooded streets like 7 feet high in a town in Spain
Oh yeah.
after a deadly storm, dude.
I saw that on Reddit.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
that
was
is
so
interesting. Let's roll that clip.
And roll that clip. Yeah, battered small town in Spain, and dude, it's just like it's like really it's disgusting, dude. And on top of it, like what we're doing in this world, dude, is just ridiculous. Which also tied into this other article,
Isn't
which I
sea foam
saw.
just bacteria?
It's like plankton and stuff like that, and gross shit.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of wash.
So I don't want to necessarily like say that it's just us doing
Grime.
it to the world, though.
No, the world
Because-
naturally does it. We're just accelerating.
We
the shit out of
we
it.
may help accelerate it though, but I mean, there's cities all along the coast of all like the continents where like it's hundreds of feet below sea level,
Yeah.
and they're just underwater. There used to be civilizations for thousands of years that were at that level, so. But that was, however many thousands years ago. That was a long time. So this trend happening this fast, I feel like it kind of points towards an upward trend anyways.
Yeah.
Like throughout, even before we've existed as adults, like it's been a warming up trend for quite a while. But like you said, yeah, it is faster. It's
100%. You got to
the
think
things that
how
happening
long
in Venice and
we got to think how long we've been burning shit, dude. We used to burn our trash and put that in the air a long time ago, like
I mean,
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
and
of
also
years
just bury it in the fucking ground.
ago. Yeah.
Well, the problem is that there's just a ton of humans, and like realistically, just the natural stuff that we have to do. If you can just imagine of like if every time that you used a plastic bottle or like you ate, whatever, some sort of cereal bar or whatever it is, and you threw that wrapper, if you collected those in your room, how long would it be till you covered the floor? And then until you know what I mean,
100%.
slowly filled the room, like, and then when you actually put it into that, and then that's you. Now you got to think how many people live in your house at this moment. Now add up all their stuff too, and then do that for all your neighbors in your neighborhood. Just because that is the thing that we do is we like to take the shit we don't want to see and put it somewhere else, like the landfills or whatever. And then if you don't like do that math yourself,
I think this would maybe help. Matt, can you look up how many pounds a year of trash does an average American family get rid of
Oh yeah.
a year? Yeah.
I would say
It's
let's
disgusting.
guess that let's guess this
Yeah.
shit. I would guess for a family, it's probably gonna do a family of 4 pounds of trash. I would say about 3,500 pounds.
You think about 1.5 tons?
Yeah.
1.5
Well, more than that.
just stick
What
with
are
the
you-
thousands.
yeah, 3,000.
Let's use numbers.
3,000.
1.75 tons.
How many dozens of pounds is that? I'm going by Baker's.
How many
Wait,
quintuplets
how much did you
of
say?
pounds?
How much did you say?
3,500.
3,500. I'm gonna say close to 7,000 pounds.
I am going with. Are we doing the rules of if you're over, you
No,
bust?
you
or
don't
whatever?
lose anything. Yeah, you have to eat the piece of toast the other two jerk off on. Whoever's the most
Cream
wrong.
cheese.
Honestly,
Cream cheese delight.
I do prefer a bagel. If we can.
Oh, we got
Bagels.
bagels. Do you want an
Okay.
everything or a blueberry?
I can get you a Brugger's bagel with cream cheese on it before.
Are you more of a butter
I'll
guy,
let
or
you-
I can't believe it's not
You
butter?
guys can cream the cheese.
Yeah, how much do you say?
If we're going those rules, I'm gonna bet 35. We're at 1 over Trevor.
Okay.
But if we're not going those rules realistically, for some reason 6,400 was the number popping into my head.
I like it.
Okay. The average American consumer, so this is only one person. Here.
So we'll multiply it by 4.
The average person
guesses.
produces 5 pounds of trash each day. The family creates about 17.4 pounds. Multiply those numbers by 365 days. That adds up to 1,606 for a person and 6,351 pounds per family.
Wow, dude. Look at
Nice.
you go, dude.
All right.
Dude, that's disgusting, though, dude. That's 3 cars, man. That's 3 cars of trash.
Oh, yeah.
Take out all the parts, dude.
I mean, you have to think about it, though, too, that I
That's like
feel like that's
5.
accounting some furniture, like actual things
Fair
that are
enough.
just dense, but
It's like
it's still
6 or 7.
disgusting.
It's like 6 or 7 smart
Are they
cars.
talking about bag trash?
Real quick.
Or like 1 semi.
Hold on.
Maybe 2 pickups.
Collectively, America produces about 254 million tons of trash, and we recycle about 34.3% of that.
Oh,
And that's produced in 1 year.
That's fucked up.
Player weights.
that's something I heard that was really cool, though, that there's some I saw an article talking about how a lot of nuclear power plants are starting to shut down within the next few decades.
Yep.
And they've started to find a way to make a diamond battery powered by recycled half-lives of radiation. To make like super long-lasting batteries that'll those batteries, dude, if we can harness that energy, just getting a shit ton of batteries out of the environment that people throw away would be so nice too. And especially imagine having a nuclear powered phone that's safe for you and you don't ever have to charge it. Just never. You just get your phone.
Yeah, well, they've already talked about possibly using like xenon for like propulsion and stuff for cars and stuff because it's a gas that basically
Like,
doesn't
it's
diminish.
combustible?
It doesn't diminish. No, it's combustible, but it doesn't diminish. It's like what they use.
That would be unlimited energy, and that's something that doesn't exist. So
Well,
there's no
it
way
doesn't
that
diminish
doesn't
compared
diminish.
to it's fractional compared to actual,
I think that's what
jet
it is.
fuel.
I think it's like very small
Yeah.
fractions used compared to.
I think I remember hearing something about that way back.
Yeah, it's like okay, obviously, but it is also radioactive, so it's like that's
Well, that's not cool, huh?
yeah, exactly. You don't want that
All
in
the
your
cars
lung.
burning that all
He's
the
just
time.
riddled with
Well,
it.
your cars are that's the thing is it's not like your whole engine's going to be radiation. You're probably going to have like pretty small block of that being radiation. Your car has radiation, your phone has radiation, your microwave has radiation, these mics have radiation, the computer does like
yeah.
The difference
so much
is if you're releasing it into the air, and then if you add up all the cars on all the highways, all emitting small amounts of radiation.
Well, we're talking about diamond radiation batteries. That's not
He
emitting.
was saying with the xenon.
Yeah, with
With the-
xenon.
yeah, but that's
yeah.
for
Might-
flying ships in the air.
I think that's for
That's-
space travel. Actually,
yeah.
I think it's like unlimited propulsion because once it gets going, it doesn't diminish or something like that because it's like good to like glide.
Okay,
to
that
the
makes
galaxy
more
with.
sense
I
because when you're
think that's
talking
what it was.
radiation out in the sun and in space
Yeah.
is cool, but if we're talking all cars, because you said they were looking at
With
for
jet
cars,
propulsion
Maybe,
cars.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm not cool with the whole everyone's xenon radiation and stuff.
Yeah, did you hear Jeff got the new Xenon car? He's just riddled with cancer now.
And he's stretched out like 350 feet from how fast he went. Just pulled him
God,
apart.
does he get to work fast? Cut the commute time in half.
He actually doesn't pay for gas though.
Yeah.
Lot and chemo though. Dude, that's actually another thing, man. I'll get to that later, but basically we've been lied to about the entire thing by like the EPA chief about global warming. He said we have about 70 to 75 years till climate change is irreversible, which it's now looking more like 2030 is our cutoff line. He actually did that because he's paid off. They just found this shit. He's like, I think he's in court for it, but he lied about it. He lied about it and like calmed us, about a subject that should be a big concern to us. And, he was doing it for the automotive industry to make them seem less like bad guys and let them go about for longer.
Especially with like Volkswagen
sick,
and lying
dude.
about their emissions too, overall in general with their diesel cars.
Yeah.
That's sickening and it's scary. But one thing I am is thankful that we live in a place like Michigan,
Yeah.
where we're inland, but it sucks because the majority of the population of the world, I think it's like, isn't it like 60 or 70% is based around coastal cities? That's where we started, and that's where we thrive. Ports and like importing, exporting.
We're probably in the best zone that you can be in the entire U.S., possibly even the world. Dude, think about it.
If you're listening to this from somewhere not in Michigan,
you're
luck.
fucked.
Yeah, sorry. We'll mail you snowballs.
No, I'd say dude, you got to think like the fault lines and everything like that. We're not by a fault line. We're closer to Yellowstone, dude, if a super volcano ended up happening, dude. And that's just like, that's speculation. We don't know.
That'd be more than just the U.S. That's the world.
The entire world.
Yeah, everyone would die, and at least at that point, we'd be able to say we had the front row seat.
Dude, that's such stupid.
I was right there when it happened, bro.
I died.
But in heaven,
just imagine that volcano would explode so big that like you can see that on the horizon coming at you, just like
chunks of rock would go into space from it. That's how big they said, but it's all speculation, and that's actually a big thing. I watched this entire thing. It was almost a thing to like scare people, and it's another agenda that people are trying to push for environmental change. But environmental change is a very real thing, but you can't make up like things like this because there is vents and stuff like that de-escalate pressure. They're just saying that's the biggest magma hold, like basically in the world, is there, or below Hawaii is the biggest one, I think.
I can believe either one.
Magma chamber.
Yeah,
that's. But it's just like such a stupid thing that they try and push this off as like, yeah, you need to be afraid. You need to live on the edge. You need to, live on the edge of your seat. I think there's certain things that we should really look out for, like our emissions and stuff like that.
I was gonna say,
and pollution, just
where,
like on top, like actual trash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's where like one of my favorite sayings and things ever is a serenity prayer, and it's God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Well, with that, right now super volcanoes aren't number one.
We can't change that. Yeah.
We don't have the technology. We don't have, if it does happen, or even if we knew, if someone gave us the year right now and told us it was going to happen and this is how, we still don't have the technology to fix it. We can't go drill in there. We don't know how it would affect anything. We could accidentally set it off. So we don't know how to change.
Or just move it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Make another volcano.
Yeah.
So but until we get that, okay, sorry. Super volcano might happen. I'm more worried about like you said, either CO2 emissions or tsunamis or tornadoes or
there's and there's things that we can
every day
control too. Maybe moving further away from coastal regions, not making our biggest cities.
That's why the scare tactics.
We're starting to be able to make weather. Like in China, they're making rain clouds and hydrating the land artificially. So we're going to be able to benefit the environment, but we're going to have to definitely cut down emissions.
China's making leaps and bounds right now, though. There is another thing that there's another article, I don't even need to pull it up, but they are getting rid of, it's illegal to sell one-use, like, plastic stuff.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Bags, bottles, anything like that. Illegal, dude. That's amazing.
Sucks for drug dealers. Well, they're doing illegal anyways,
dude.
So.
India's the one place that we gotta do something with them, dude.
That's disgusting. Some of the stuff.
Oh
my fucking god, dude!
Just burn a tire for warmth,
dude. It is so
dump trash in the water.
Yeah, dude. They're
shit
so
in the water,
bad. And they just don't. They don't care, dude. They really.
Well, here's the thing. It's not like they're bad people and they don't care. You have to realize is that over there. Mostly everybody has fucking nothing.
Yeah. Illnesses too.
And the illness is rampant.
Yeah.
Like I watched some documentary about that, just how there's people that they make a living by just going and walking around the dumps all day, finding salvageable shit that they can bring back and make into something at stores or just sell for scraps and and they'll make like $3 a week. Doing that shit.
The U.S. version of that is there's people now going to like Orange County and Calabasas and all these super rich areas in California, and they go trash picking, and they'll make thousands of dollars a week. Like literally,
we should do a YouTube video doing that when we're in Cali sometime.
They'll go out there. They'll go out there and they'll go, and so like the people will get the newest screen TV that year. Like they say, you just
and they're so rich
they're so rich they just set out the old one. The old one's worth $1,000, let's say. Still, it's a big ass like whatever TV. It's worth
55er.
$1,000. But to those people, they don't want to go through and sell it. They don't want to do whatever. And once their assistants and whoever already have some shit, they just set it outside.
That's like here, though. That's like here. That reminds me of here because I've seen like flat screens outside and stuff like that.
Well,
I'm
imagine that, but if instead of the people here, which are just, what is it, middle, upper class, like in between there, like middle class to upper class, like somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Instead of that, imagine the most off the charts 1% type of people and the shit that they just throw out. And there's people that just live off of it. There's like a whole society off of it. So I'm like, it's just funny that the American versions are go to the billionaires garbage and just get flat screens and actually make like, well above a minimum wage job and you're fine.
Yeah, it's the beauty of living in
Standard
a
of
first world
living.
country, and like there's people that go over and panhandle and shit. Not even panhandle because that's kind of illegal in a lot of spots, but there's beggars that are fake in New York, like where they make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just sitting on the sidewalk just asking for money. Some they have the right, they found what it takes to get that money out of people.
Yeah.
And they'll park in an alley 7 blocks away in their fucking Audi. And they I've seen one video where they actually I've seen a few of them and it's kind of like theatrical. I'm like, all right, but this one they actually were like a solid block and a half behind following this guy. And actually follow him all the way to this house, and the guy actually almost assaulted him on camera because of how pissed he was.
Yeah.
And his house, this was in New York too,
Yeah.
like right outside the city, probably 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was like a house that was probably like my
Your old house.
My old house.
Okay.
So it was like a 2-story house, very nice house, 2-car garage, and that's expensive, especially in New York.
Oh,
like that
100%.
guy's making stupid fucking money.
100%.
Just acting like a homeless person.
Oh, I've seen
It's sickening, dude.
I went down a rabbit hole and watched a bunch of those videos, and there's the same thing, and there's people who do it too with like they know if they have a kid, like some will have kids go sit with them all day.
About that lady with their 7-year-old kid and cancer and shit that they're faking it.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they like shaved the kid's head, and she was like,
"Are you
lying to
kidding me?"
doctor?" I think she went on Dr. Phil.
Oh no. Okay, I'm thinking the one that
There's
they
a
made
bunch
a movie
of them,
about.
though. I was watching. There's another one where the lady just had one of those like fake pregnancy things that you have and had it under her shirt and just faked being pregnant and sat out there and did that. And then the same thing. And a person was videoing them because she was like, "I've seen this lady out a bunch of days in a row, but she's pregnant." And like I offered her food and she said no, it's fine. And like so she said it was weird. So she did the same thing. She like followed the lady. Lady walked down the street and walked through like a back alley, got in a nice car and drove away. And she followed her. When she got at the house, she got out of the car and pulled the stomach thing off. And
Get out of
has
here.
the video of it and sent it to
Please
the local
get
news.
I saw one dude. You know how
how hard is that?
you know how homeless people kind of chill in the same area too. Like they'll maybe chill, a couple feet away from each other, doing the same shit. So they're
Just generalizing all homeless people.
no, what I've seen.
Well,
you know what I mean?
that's not much of a generalization. In LA, it's rampant.
I think it's just
He's
a
just
hot
a classist.
spot.
That's all.
I think it's just they're just looking for like hot spots where they can make money, the most money.
Every
And,
homeless person's all the same.
hey, they're demographic.
Don't got a story, just
They
a
are
face.
entrepreneurs, dude. Anyways, no, I'm just joking. Sorry for anybody that's homeless out there
listening to our podcast.
Definitely not. But anyways, I saw this one where this guy is in a wheelchair and he's right next to this girl that's actually homeless. You can tell, dude, she's not
She's
very
one of the
hygienic.
legit homeless ones.
Not in a good
She's not
spot.
hygienic,
Like,
dude.
real
Nothing like-
shitty.
yeah. Okay. Anyways, so this guy comes over and he's like talking to the guy for a second, and he's videotaping, and he ends up saying something. He's like, "Oh shit, dude, there's $20 actually on the ground right next to you. How'd you miss that?" And he's like, "That's my 20." And then he gets up out of his wheelchair and goes to grab it, and he's like, "Man, I thought you were in a fucking wheelchair, dude." And he's like, "Oh." Yeah, and then sits down, and then the girl that's actually homeless is like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You've been lying." And like he made more money than her that day and stuff like that, and was like kind of impeding on her traffic. Dude, like that's fucked up. That's
Yeah,
like that's
there
like
was-
yeah.
There was another one I saw where the guy had he pretzeled his legs up in boxers, so like only his knees were sticking out of the leg holes.
Yeah.
And they're like back behind his ass. His feet were crisscrossed.
Yeah.
And he had like blanket tied really tightly around his below waist, so it actually looked like he had no legs.
Sure, yeah.
And he was just rolling around on like a big like makeshift skateboard with wheels put on the bottom, kind of like a mechanic board. And he was just crawl around like that. And some guy actually went up and like ripped all that shit off, and you could see his legs like folded
Get
up.
the fuck
and
out of
he's
here.
so stuffed in there. It's like somebody else helped him get in there.
Yeah.
He just had to fucking roll away like that, you know, and go back to wherever he
What
came
a
to get out of that.
Dumbass. I mean, that's smart, but it's
I mean, yeah, but
fucking-
put it with that much effort, being that uncomfortable, being bored, sitting there all day.
Yeah.
It's like you
Get a
might
real
as well
job,
do
dude.
something.
One of my favorite stories that for this is the guy, a guy went to a place in England where they had just put in a new zoo. The zoo had the parking lot was made by the city, but the city had thought that the zoo had the right to be able to charge for parking. The zoo thought that since the city had put in the parking lot and it was city like concrete and whatever that had made it, that the city would charge for parking. The guy showed up and did it for like 20 years out in England and collected millions of dollars, like well over like multi-millionaire
What a
now.
smart motherfucker.
Just showed up every day and collected $10 from everyone who came in for parking, 10 euros or whatever, did it every day for 20 years. And on what would have been his like 20th year working there or whatever, just never showed up again. No one knew his name. No one knew who he actually was. They all knew him as the security guard guy, but no one ever talked to him.
See, I
or
don't even
anything.
look at that as being like a scammer. That's just
And so
there's-
exactly,
that's
that's where I'm like, dude, that guy
ingenious.
could have also just been homeless and panhandled, but he took the genius
Yeah.
above and beyond
worked the system.
and exactly, and was able to do this and did that. And so like,
Ingenious,
not
dude.
even mad at it. That's the type of ingenuity that I'm like, all right, well,
I
damn
can't.
it.
I do that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. And they didn't end up finding out that this is a huge scam till afterwards when they looked at the city plans.
He
and-
never, he never showed up again. And the zoo called the city and said, "Hey, are you guys going to send a new guy?"
Yeah.
They said, "What are you talking about?
and
Send
they
a new
looked at
guy."
the city plans and they go, "Well, nothing's on here."
The city was like, "No, you have the right for parking. You've been charging for parking this whole time." And the zoo was like, "No, you've been charging for parking. There's been a guy who showed up every day for the last 20 years." So they're like, "We'll talk to him tomorrow or the next day." He just never showed up one day, never missed a day before that, didn't show up one day and never showed up again.
The part that does suck, though, is I guess the downside after thinking about it is that is a lot of money taken away that could go towards the care of those animals.
Or
you
the
know?
city and
And
putting
the city and benefits in
Sure,
general.
police
yeah.
officers and all
Yeah.
that. But on the
I
other
mean,
side,
it's also
it's
working the
ingenious,
city.
dude.
Yes, but I mean, like yes, I'd still do it if I
Yeah,
thought of it.
100%.
I would still
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
yeah. And then
but
you
that's
get
an,
off scot-free
And the
kind of
but
thing.
that's an actual downside because I like animals.
Of course.
Fuck the companies.
Of
And
course.
the thing to
Fuck
be-
the city.
And the
Yeah.
thing to be honest, though, the thing to be honest though about too is if you can manage to do that and you're able to work it out and you're smart enough to do that, you know the risks. And if he would have gotten caught, he would have gone to jail for a long time. It would have been a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
He took the gamble and he won.
Yeah.
Like
he
he didn't
did.
kill
Yeah.
anyone. He didn't do anything to harm. It wasn't violent. Like if someone did a robbery and did that, I wouldn't be saying the same thing. But the way that he went about it, it's like it's a perfect
was so harmless
like,
and
movie
it's
scheme
so
or something.
great.
in
Yeah.
my opinion, I guess to go off what you just said to take a little different direction off of this though is I think that people that do violent crimes like that, those are really the only people that should be imprisoned.
Yeah.
Other people, it's like even if you have a fraud check, like if you're doing check fraud,
Well, there's,
Still,
I think
There's
there
a
should be
few
some jail
others-
time or payment.
There's a few
Well,
others
there's-
though that are I would say the only other ones would have to be either like ignorance or negligence crimes, such as like obviously just like even if you're not directly being violent but you're doing something stupid, like DUI is a perfect example.
of course,
Yeah, so,
that's a
like,
version
those
of a
things-
violent crime. People can
or
die.
the
Yeah.
distribution of a lethal substance.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Something
still
like that.
yeah.
I
You
think
can that's like life threatening. That's violent.
Lethal,
like
lethal doesn't mean weed.
yeah.
I'm just tossing that
you
out
can
there.
die. It's illegal now.
No, you
in my
can't.
head, it's illegal.
Can't die.
You can die. No, I'm
Never
just kidding.
happen.
I'm just kidding.
can get a reefer
dude,
madness.
I think
Well, lethal would also mean alcohol then, huh?
actually, dude, the first recreational shop just opened around here. I think it's a little bit away. It's like
I ain't
30
never
minutes
buying the
away.
recreational from Dispo Dog. It's way too overpriced.
I know, dude, but it's cool. It's cool at least that we have that
Yeah, it's
option,
cool.
dude. You have that option.
After a few years, I feel like it'll be more like I'm just too poor to even go and think about.
I
going
think
and
it'll
spending
even
money there,
itself
dude.
out. Where
You're
they'll
like
drop the
every other
prices.
20-something-year-old and just go and take your arthritic body to the dispensary for the medical marijuana that you need to heal it.
I have arthritis.
Well, soon, dude.
Every
It's-
27-year-old in Michigan.
soon it's
I
legal.
have anxiety and arthritis.
But you
in
don't
my-
even need
in
that
my
excuse now. You can order it from a weed delivery company on a phone app.
Yeah, but everybody's
super illegal.
Yeah,
Huh?
Super illegal.
no, they just made one.
They have
No,
phone
I know
delivery
they
apps.
exist, but
Oh.
I'm telling you, I go to the dispensary and
I'm
have
not saying right
conversations
now.
with them.
Not right
Yeah.
now.
And they say this, when they do come and check, how many of those delivery companies have even asked for your card? And also, none of them do, so you don't even need a card, really. The
Yeah.
other side is, too, they say
Hey.
with the delivery companies that they the way that they go and deliver it, you're not supposed to transport weed that way. It's not legal. You can transport it from a grower to the place or whatever, but you can't transport it to go sell to someone. So those people the whole time are just people driving with
Well, of
weed
course,
on them
but
to go to you.
you're talking about like before the legalization of recreational.
Well, yeah,
Now,
once it's
because
full-
I mean, now we're gonna be able to get that delivered. That's where this world's going towards. You can get your lunch delivered in under 10 minutes sometimes, like from Jimmy John's, dude.
need
You
to
ever
get the-
order
Freaky
delivery from
fast.
them? They're freaky fast, dog. Now they're
Yeah,
gonna
free
be like
fast.
that. And it'd be dumb if the government didn't do that. They'd be because they are the ones regulating this soon.
Yeah.
We need Uber
they
weed.
they could tap into
Yeah.
that industry, and if they didn't, that'd be just losing. You'd be losing out on such a good industry in general.
It'd be like losing the alcohol industry for them.
Hey, imagine
that.
you had an Uber ride though.
industry for them, though. as far
Imagine
as
you had an
taxes and
Uber
stuff.
ride though, and it'd be illegal, or it'd be legal for him. Like you had like the Uber 420, and then you had like the Uber XL and shit like that. Uber 420 is where you have a blunt and an ashtray ready when you get in the car. He has
Or
to
just
roll
a
in
weed
everything.
a weed hookah, like
Yeah,
in an orange
dude.
head.
Hey, just the whole fucking time. He's like, you need a new coal on that? Yeah. That'd be pretty fucking lit, dude.
You want the ice wand?
Probably sounds like I'm a huge pod. I don't even
They
smoke
need to
weed.
convert weed maps into weed
really? What'd you buy
delivery
last week?
service.
I did buy weed.
'Cause you know who invented weed maps? Or who was one of the main founders?
Bezos.
Lil Dicky.
No
Hell
way.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Okay, that's pretty cool.
Matt, will you confirm that for me? Thank you. I don't want to sound like an idiot because I said it with a lot of confidence.
It's actually Little Dick. It's actually Little Dick Kevin, actually.
If it's a
He's
guy
known in the
with
porn
with
industry for his.
If it's a guy with another Lil
incredibly
D
small
nickname, I'd be astonished.
But anyways, so going on from what we're talking about with climate change, they're basically saying now the fire chief in Australia is blaming the fires. Have you heard about any of the fires? I'm trying to keep up.
Yeah, I've heard a ton about them.
Yeah.
From what I've heard is that the way that they're started and everything from all these different areas, they don't believe the sparks have gone to different areas and stuff. They think that some psycho possibly started setting them after they found out about the first ones.
Yeah, but this is not supposed to be a dry season either for the brush and stuff like that. So they're
He
also
thinks it's affected by climate change.
Yes,
I
definitely.
heard
the
that
brush
they
should-
arrested like over 180 suspects.
Dude,
for
there
lighting
probably
fires.
fucking is. I'm not denying that. There probably is a lot of crazy people that are just like,
Well, they said the chances of them all starting simultaneously, but in all these different areas, in northern, western, eastern,
Yeah, and it
all
was-
these different areas.
it wasn't a piece of ash that
Yeah,
flew.
they said there's no way the distance from where the heart of each thing is that it wasn't embers just floating over there. So.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, that's
Could be
like
an act of organized
sickening.
terrorism in a way with the certain group of people. You
I
never
think
know.
I think it's a psycho who does it, and then there's other pyromaniac psychos who see it and think about the power of what they're watching on the news and stuff. I think there could be just
Yeah,
or
it could
even
be
shit,
anything, you know?
Could like be a teenage kid who's like, oh wow, with all these brush fires, I wonder what's going on. Like lights something outside or whatever. I don't know. And
Maybe wombats learn how to make fire.
I mean, dude, were you there when
Wombat fire.
Were you there when me and Garrett and Jeff accidentally burnt down a field?
See, that's the type of thing where teenagers go messing around. Then all of a sudden they realize, oh, fire's too big. I can't put it out whenever I want to.
Yeah, it was really stupid. So we put a, you remember those tall monster cans that had like the lid that you could screw back on?
BFCs.
Putting them 80 in it.
Yeah,
big fucking
yeah. We put a
cans.
mortar in it. We put a mortar in it, set it off. Did we close the top? I think we
I
closed the
hope
top.
not. Jesus.
Something. No, we didn't, because then it would lack oxygen. I think we kept it open, and then we set it in the middle of this field, just thinking it'd be a cool, nice little
Users
explosion.
don't need oxygen.
Do they not?
No, that's why you can throw a firecracker in the water. They actually
If it's like a waterproof
like
fuse.
an
I don't think it was
oxide or whatever in them for most firecrackers.
I don't think it was a fireproof.
I throw mortars in the water too.
Okay, fair enough. All right, what are you fishing?
No, I saw a pond and I had a mortar and I said what happens.
Fair
It
enough.
works.
It works. Okay.
Yep.
So maybe close the top. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but I remember shrapnel and everything went flying. But then, dude, it was like somebody threw napalm on the ground. It just went like, dude, just engulfed like half of, dude, like probably a circle of 30 feet with just flames. And then it just got totally out of control. And then the neighbor ended up calling the firefighters. I left. And Jeff and Garrett ended up having to deal with it, dude.
See ya.
I was like,
Probably what I would have done.
I was like,
dude,
I gotta
just
go. I'm scared.
Hey man, the smart ones leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when you're a kid, you can't get in that much trouble.
There's this guy. I was listening to this comedy, and he was like, yeah, I took some shroomies with my boys in the middle of the woods. I guess we couldn't be there.
The other day.
Did you hear that? He's like, guess couldn't be there. I was on like pills and drinking and smoking weed too. And he's like, yeah, a cop showed up, so I set down my beer. He's like, I didn't tell any of my friends. He's walking up. And that just reminded me of something I'd probably do, dude. If I was tripping nuts, I'd be like, fuck, dude, there's a cop, but I wouldn't let anybody know because if I said something to them,
Would be suspicious. You know, to
exactly.
Get
dude.
people freaked out.
I was always the one that left, dude. You know what I mean? I was always the way. Adam could even tell you some stories. I just leave. Fucking leave.
It's called the Irish leave, man. You just dip out, don't say a word.
No.
Yeah,
This is
be
go
called-
home bear
It
who.
should be called the trip and leave because it was pretty much just at any point in the night, if you were with him hanging out, he would either disappear or he if he couldn't figure out his own way to get away, he would ask you in a panic of how he was able to get home at that point because he would just randomly be like, all right, guys, yeah, I need to get home. Like, I'm just not really feeling it. And you're like, really? You know, are you sure? Like,
Or he'd come with some
we're just
bullshit
chilling
excuse,
and we're
like,
doing something. And
gotta go
then,
home.
well, yeah, we'd be like, we're just chilling. But I don't know, my stomach kind of hurts, you know? And you're like, really? We're all fine? And then we get to the point where he's like, all right, guys, I need to be home now. So we're making this happen right about now, huh?
Or just did, or
I think you've run home a couple times.
I've ran home. Yeah.
You ran home a
I've
few
ran down the
times.
trail
I don't,
away from a kid that I thought was a zombie at the time.
yeah,
That's a story for another time. That's definitely something I want to go in detail about. That was horrifying to me. It's like being in Call of Duty Zombies in real life, you know?
Were you high?
So there's two perspectives.
Tripping. Okay.
Two perspectives. One is there's basically the whole thing is there's people tripping, right? One is the perspective of a kid who says, I'm going to mess around with my buddy. He was tripping, he threw up, and then after he throws up, he looked at his buddy who was staring at him like astounded and scared, and he all of a sudden went, I'm going to eat you, or did
But
something
when
like
he
that and
threw
stepped
up, it looked
towards
like
him.
blood, dude.
So and
It
then
was red
so
and
that's one
shit.
perspective. The other is Adam's perspective, where he sees a kid throw up and it comes out reddish and looks crazy colors and looks scary, and he's looking terrified. And then right then that guy looks up just for their eyes to meet and for him to say, I am gonna eat you. And so it didn't go over well. It turned into a full sprint running away. Took us convincing him zombies aren't real. We can all get back in the car together and then he won't eat you. And then in the car, he kept whispering things under his breath. The kid kept just saying,
I'm going to follow you home.
he just kept saying things under his breath that we could hear him mumbling, but they were sitting in the back together, so he kept whispering things to where Adam kept just being like, all right, I need to be out of the car.
I think I
Just
said I'm gonna
stop.
kill
So
this
was this
kid.
kid like
Go.
tripping with you or just
Yeah,
trying to?
yeah, he's
Oh,
tripping
okay.
too. All of us.
He
were
was just a
tripping.
little bit older.
And somebody's
He-
driving
he
while tripping.
He was a little bit older,
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
more
yeah, yeah.
experienced.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, yeah.
He was a little older, a little more experienced. He'd done it a few more times, I think, at that point too.
Oh well,
'cause
then
we
it's
were
okay.
relatively
Now it's fine.
No, so he's a little more comfortable messing around with his
I'm a good
buddies
drunk
tripping.
driver.
No, tripping driving is
Oh, tripping
totally
driving?
different, dude. You're really slow, dude, because you feel like you're going 1,000,000 miles an hour, dude. You're like in a spaceship going 25 miles an hour, dude. You know what I mean? Lights are whizzing past you. You're like, dude, I'm in the fucking millennium.
Yeah, very, very weird.
set it in a hyperdrive. Just you're going to drive and take your foot off the gas and brake. You're just like, holy shit, we're flying right now. But anyways, yeah. Basically, I just thought he was a zombie, and I think I told him I'd kill him, and I brought up my knife and everything too. I went full Black Ops on him.
I just remember you at one point went home, and then a few hours later, I got a call from you, and you're like, "Hey, I'm coming down. I feel a lot better. Sorry about all the zombie stuff. Sorry about the whole zombie thing."
I was like, is he still acting weird though?
But and then you did double check reality with me. I believe you were like, so is it so like, you know, he's not all messed up, right? Like no, he was messing with you the whole. Yeah, no, of course, right. Yeah, just messing, right.
Anyways.
Meanwhile, kid's in the closet eating his hand.
Dude, I stood outside for 2 hours. I was like, this motherfucker shows up, dude. Wobbling through my yard. I'm freaking out, dude. Just had to, get down.
That's how you get in someone's head.
I
always hated when people would like get off and trying to freak you out.
Oh, 100%. That's why I don't fuck with any of that stuff anymore. I don't smoke weed. I don't do anything. I'm just
that's the thing is I don't think if you sat down and smoked weed, there's no one around you that would try and fuck with you.
I know that, but I just have such deep paranoia that stems from that now. Like anything, if I'm altering my mind, I just have paranoia behind it now. You know what I mean?
If you never eat jalapenos, you're not going to like jalapenos.
Don't like jalapenos. Never eat them because they make me feel weird afterwards.
You guys will come to learn throughout this podcast series, Bear Who has an answer for everything. Not in a bad way. He just has some reason that is brought somewhere from his nether regions.
I am opinionated on almost everything.
But not like an opinion you could even like retort with or agree with most of the time. It's just something.
It's just kind of set in stone and can't be turned.
All right. Fuck one, marry one, kill one. Your mom, your dad, your sister.
Oh, Jesus, man.
You said you have an answer for everything.
Okay. All right, dude.
I felt like this is where it was clearly going. It was clearly headed this way.
Kill my sister.
Matt's smiling now, though.
Kill my sister. Kill my sister.
I knew. Yeah, that box was checked.
Me and my sister do not get along.
So. By the way, Bear Who's mom sometimes listens to this podcast, so she'll get to hear this.
Oh, dude, this is not good.
We're obviously all right.
Yeah.
You answered the main part of the question. You're murdering your sister.
Yeah, dude. Okay. Let's just say
shit.
I'm not gonna. Let's just say I'm not gonna fuck a guy. Okay. Anyways.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yes, it's a beautiful Valentine's Day.
24th.
There's something really important that Bear Who wants to say. He wants to make sure everyone knows that he is a.
Nope, didn't work.
One under.
Yeah. Pink one. Yes. Wait, you gotta redo it now.
All right, Bear Who he's a self-proclaimed
jackass.
And he just said it, so it's pretty clear.
Wow.
Yep.
It's almost like he was here saying it.
It's almost like he's using the podcast against you, man.
Yeah. You're battling my wits here. But no, okay, so we got totally off topic.
That's normal, though.
Anyways, so yeah, so the ex-fire chief. I started getting all wrapped up in my shit.
Today,
you got 15 minutes, so we got to kind of wrap up here. All right, Matt. Don't get too trigger happy with that button. But anyway, so Trump administration, dude, I feel like he's taking a step forward and a total step back here. Trump administration to finalize rule removing environmental protections for streams and wetlands. So now people can dump trash in stream and wetlands. So that's what he's trying to do. He had a foot forward.
That's not his main goal, isn't that?
No, I'm sure there's something.
No, that's it.
It's just funny of the setup was so people are going to be able to dump garbage in the wetlands, and that's what he's trying to do. He just wishes more people had that freedom and believes it should be.
You see that waterway?
Right. Let's fuck it up.
Good with some trash on it. Nah, I don't think that's what he's going for, and maybe he'll make a policy that's actually better than that. But to us right now, it just looks like shit.
It's for businesses to be able to do it, so they have easier regulations, so that they have to spend less money on filters and all that type of stuff to be able to clean their whatever their waste is, you know. Yeah. But the problem is you help businesses, but what's the cost? It's the morality of, you know, capitalism.
100%.
What's more important, the money, and then where do you draw that line?
Well, capitalism gets in the way of environmentalism in a lot of cases. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think, and I'm not a fan either way, but I think he did a very good thing with, the conflict in Iran. But I think right now it looks like a step forward and a step back. Like, I think really, like, he's just, what?
Yeah, I don't.
You didn't really say an opinion or go too much detail. You just said, I just think it's a good thing what he did.
No, I think it is a good thing. I think he handled it very well, and I supported him in that way.
You think the way that he handled the situation was a good thing, not just him dropping bombs or whatever in general.
I think the way that
all
he handled
was
it
is like what his address, because we on one of the past episodes he talked about what he addressed.
Yes.
Like,
So
from me not coming from that tie line, it just
So guess who doesn't listen to our podcast?
You don't keep with us every fucking week?
I didn't say the words.
Anyways, no, but what I'm saying is I do have an opinion based on that. I do not have an opinion as him as president. I don't know enough, I guess, but I think he did something positive, and this is just bringing back maybe the people that would have liked him and would have maybe swayed towards, Trump being president and been okay with it. I think this kind of pushes it back into a lot where he's, looked as an enemy again, instead of actually being a president in somebody's eye for once.
I think there's got to be something major to really influence how people feel about him. I feel like either pretty much for or against him at this point.
100%.
And there's a lot of people who I personally think, like with the environment type stuff and whatever, that there's the majority of his base just has the trust in him that he has a plan in the end for what he's doing. And whether or not he does and it's working out, like the economy is doing really well. And, in a debate, it's going to be hard to say that that's bad for the Democratic side. But as far as, also the biggest thing is, like, if you're a fan of the Democrats, one of the things I would tell all them is, hey, don't have 19 people that you're up for candidacy when the Republicans really have one straightforward candidate. They have a couple others, but they're also moderates or on the fringe a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have those types of things. But really, Republicans united fronts. That's why I think the Republicans will win. I'm not so much invested in Trump. But if the Republicans threw up 4 more candidates that all looked good and you were spreading out the Republican vote a little more, I don't think that they would win. I don't think Trump would win.
Yeah, the way I look at it is I think you're really right on that, is that the Republicans have such a more united front and they have a way better way that they're advertising their campaigns and they're actually moving forward with their plan. What I see the last couple years being really is, and I don't take sides, really. I'm pretty in the middle. I just think that, like, the Democrats for some issues have things way more right than Republicans and vice versa. It's a give and take.
Yeah, so, I do too. Yeah.
But the left is getting all up in gear and trying to ruin Trump and wasting so much energy in trying to, like you said, finding a locked in, solid candidate and putting energy towards the next election. It's right around the corner, dude, but you're sitting here trying to get him impeached, which won't go through. It went through the first phase. It's not going to make it through the second, so you just wasted that year.
It looks even worse if it doesn't go through and it's proven that he doesn't, because then he
can run for another 8 years.
Well,
he can run for another 8 years.
I think it might nullify his first term.
It does. It does.
I've read articles about it, but until I see a law, I'm not going to say 100%.
Yeah. We'll find that at some point. Maybe the next
we'll look
podcast we'll have that. But yeah, no,
thanks,
dude, that's
guys.
I mean, yeah. Thanks, Jeff. Or thanks, Alan. Yeah, basically, I mean, really, I want to end off on a good note. There's, a lot of corruption that goes on in this world and a lot of sick shit that's been happening lately.
I don't think one side's worse than the other either.
No, exactly. I think if we have a Republican that comes in and he's not like Trump and he's not an extremist, maybe some people from the left can look at that in a positive light. I think what we do need right now is somebody to build up our infrastructure, like our economics and stuff like that, but we do need
You're really right. Like someone that can relate to the left and is comparable to the left more, and someone of a personality that the left can enjoy. Because after all, like, that's something I hate, is that everybody's to this day is still trying to say Trump's stupid. Well, he's clearly not stupid.
He's not a dumb guy.
He was a game show host, and then he's like, fuck it, I'm going to run for president because Obama talks shit.
Yeah.
Now he's president. Clearly he's not, like, he's like crazy to some degree, but he's not stupid.
No, I think he's just a very extreme personality.
Yeah.
And I think that's too much to have as a president, to be honest. But he started a very good line with, I guess, building our economics, our economic status right now. And I think that's a good thing. But there's a lot of things that he's depreciated. And I think that's something that the next person in office needs to fix.
Yeah, he cut down like a light bulb, like the light bulb, like environmental needs for a light bulb. Like
That's good?
No, like as in like I don't know if it's necessarily the output, like they lowered the standards.
They can waste a lot more
electricity. They can waste more electricity and like so wasted energy.
Yeah, just a lot of
So like little things like
air.
that and the streams and shit. Like
Carbon monoxide.
And like what Majkowski said too is like we don't know, because we don't know exactly what direction he's trying to take it. We can only hope that it's for the better, and he's going to rewrite a whole program and rewrite the funding. And who knows, with marijuana being legalized, I would hope that somehow that would pump enough money into the rest of the system to have environmental awareness and able to, you know, basically
statewide, dude, for every state. I think it's going to remain statewide.
If every state, the money that they would make individually from marijuana and then put that back into environmentalism, you'd still have
schools and roads.
I was going to say, even if you just did environmentalism, you'd have enough to protect everything that you possibly needed protecting to be able to, you know, add all those filters, add all the stuff you needed, and then you'd still have a ton left over for like just schools and, you know, other essential infrastructure.
Yeah. All right, so let's leave on a good note. One last article that I found, and this is I want to save the best for last. We got 10 minutes, and you know, meet the Xenobot is the name of this article. It's about a scientist created this. It's a bio robot. It's called a Xenobot. So it's using the African clawed frog. It derives its name actually from the Latin name Xenopus laevis. So that's why it's called Xenobot. They're 0.04 inches wide, so they're like about a millimeter.
They're like real life nanobots.
Yes, but they can self-heal themselves, and you can program them. So that's the amazing part, and there's no decay off them. So like with a nanobot and stuff like that, which they've been testing, there's a lot of like particles that get released in your bloodstream and stuff like that. You know, obviously they haven't done it on a human or anything like that, but a lot of, you know, residue and stuff like that. This doesn't, and it self-heals, and it could be a good thing for like just keeping a couple in people, feeding medicine.
Maybe it could help with sickle cell disease. They could help with, you know, like carrying the proteins on the blood or whatever the exact issue, the oxygen on the blood.
Yeah.
Or, you know, so on the blood cells.
Yeah, well, you actually have a higher chance of it getting clogged. That's the problem with sickle cell. The shape of the cell,
it's like
allows for
like a Brody hat shape almost, instead of like a disc.
It's like a boomerang.
It also has difficulty carrying oxygen.
Yes, it's small. It's a smaller
because, like
cell.
you were saying, it's hard to.
It's like not a good surface area. Right. It's not like a scoop. It's like,
and it's a smaller cell too. That's the thing. It's a smaller cell.
It's shaped like a sickle.
It is.
It is.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
I never thought about
boomerang
that
or
way.
a sickle.
It is.
Ben.
But no. Anyways, so and the number one thing is that they're saying best thing is to scrape plaque from your arteries to help with longevity for people.
That's so like,
dude.
Imagine somebody doing that to you.
I would rather toss it in my lungs. I'd be like, yo, go to my lungs and just clear out any of the gunk from
smoking
wet cigarettes and
with weed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to smoke. I smoked like a pack a day for like close to 10 years.
Same with
and then
me.
Quit, and it's like it would be nice if I could just nanobot it up, let that thing take, you know, get rid of all the crap.
I mean, medical technology is going to go so far.
Not nanobot, Xenobot. Sorry.
The Xenobots. Yeah, don't call them a fucking nanobot. You degenerate.
Right. Well, let's roll that clip.
But yeah, roll that clip. Hey Matt, roll that clip. But yeah, no, so I think that's just such a positive thing. It could be a negative, but let's look at it like a positive. And I think there's a lot of things going negative right now, but let's look at the positives right now, guys. You want to give off the quote?
Oh, right.
Since it was Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah, I have a
last
couple
week.
after the quote. I just have a couple things to say about this past day and stuff really quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
but you're free to go, Adam.
All right, so I'll read the quote. The quote is, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that."
And I think that goes well with what we were just talking about like, dude, just the world in general, fixing it. Dude, we can't.
Not
we can't
one
fight.
place can do it.
Yeah, we can't fight the darkness with more darkness. Let's make it strives, dude. Do look into helping the environment. I mean, little things like just like helping out around your community and stuff like that, picking up trash, whatever, dude.
Or just stop using plastic bags.
Stop using plastic bags. I think that's a very
Paper.
positive thing to do. We got to look for like things that and respect the animals of this planet, dude. I mean, that's the one thing, dude. We're fucking ruining the kin, dude.
And they rejuvenate our environment for us. Like, we need to help them out so they can help us.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So
Wouldn't have Danimals yogurt without them.
Fuck
exactly.
yeah, dude.
Danimals. Dude, that monkey
Can't
was
have
killing
Danimals
it,
without
dog.
animals.
And that monkey was killing it, dude. You always made me want to buy them.
Mhm.
Yeah, even now I want some Danimals. Anyways,
Yeah.
Trevor.
But I mean, anybody that's listening this far, thank you. I actually, I had a lot of fun this episode.
I did
Adam,
too.
It was actually great to have you on.
Fantastic, dude.
Definitely we'll have you back on in the future, especially when there's because eventually we want to figure out how to do side podcasts, not just the Surreal series, because we want to do like whatever Trevor's Corner and Barry's Corner, where like it's my theme podcast where it's only about what I want to say and talk about, and then everybody else is there. That's normal, but then we go to Bear Who's where it's his show, and then from there maybe we'll do a UFC fight. Like every time there's a fight.
I think that'd be fun.
Have a
And you're one of
podcast
the people
about it.
that I'd love to have on for that.
We've
so.
talked about UFC and MMA since we met at Chicken Shack. That's really what we started talking about a lot first was that type of stuff. So, but I mean, just going off of that. So, I mean, guess making changes to the channel and everything. Me and Barry, who actually spent a solid, I would say 5-6 hours yesterday, just like brainstorming and putting new things into the channel, updating the page, making it a lot more clickable. And we did a channel trailer. It's like 47 seconds or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like us summing up in a few words what we really want to do with the channel and showing a little
Implementing
bit of
a lot of structure to what we're doing too.
yes, we've started to like look up certain programs and things that'll help us, especially with just optimizing our videos, making it the most viewable that we can. And we're getting really fucking close to 100 subscribers.
Yep.
We're at 85 or 86
Yeah.
now. 86.
Yeah.
So
I'm counting. I'm watching.
14 more, dude, and that's all we fucking need. But like, I guess what we're also planning is we're actually going to get the cameras a little sooner than we thought, probably. I mean, coming in because we're anticipating our tax returns and we're going to be able to go towards that. So hopefully, a hopeful goal, somehow we could have video podcasts within the next 2 to 2.5 months.
Yep.
So I've brought it all together with them being able to roll that clip.
Yeah, roll that clip. Just don't put the sound on so that we don't get copyrighted, Matt.
Right.
Anyways,
We're gonna have new shit. Actually, check out our fucking videos that's coming because we actually made some cool shit for our videos now, dude.
And Adam, you're the first one that we implement this on, so
It's actually pretty
Dude.
sick.
and I couldn't have asked for a better guest today, dude. I love you, man. You've been great, dude. You've been
Thank you, Matt, for the sound checks, man. Looking
and
out facts.
just to give our socials, Adam doesn't have any socials, so I'm not going to read off anything for him. You don't have Instagram or Twitter, do you?
No, but I'm a person. You can send me letters. You can talk to me like other people do, and just
find me.
communicate. And be a
Send him
human.
letters.
Just
We'll
fine.
put his
I'm
P.O.
out,
box.
I'm out in the world.
Yeah,
Don't
put
worry
his
about
P.O.
it.
box somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere on the internet.
Fine.
But just to shout out our socials real quick. Instagram is at the Surreal Series, one word. Twitter is at series_surreal. And our Reddit is r/the Surreal Series. Is there anything else we wanted?
To mention really quick.
Yeah.
No, I guess that's episode 14. The next one's 15, and maybe we'll start brainstorming. I've had this in the back of my mind for
Well,
the
we're
last
doing
2
wolves,
days.
right?
We're gonna do wolves next episode.
Yes.
Yeah, wolves next
good thing.
episode because we pushed it back. We wanted to fully research it, but for 100 subscribers, I kind of want to do something.
Yeah, 100%.
Once we hit 100, I don't know if it'd be
100%.
like a little YouTube video or if even
We'll do something.
we could do even
Shoot an
just
arrow
like a
off his
mini
head.
thank you. Huh?
Shoot an apple
Shoot an
off.
apple off his head with an arrow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that works.
That would
Okay,
be
yeah.
lit.
No,
We'll put an aspirin on
Not
his head
doing
and I'll
that.
shoot the aspirin off.
we'll do something. We'll do
Yeah.
something cool, creative for you guys. Well, not for you guys, but for us and you guys. So, all right. Well, it's been a pleasure. We're signing off. Thank you, Adam.
Oh yeah, you guys have a
for
beautiful
having
one.
me.
Thank you. Why are you saying that?
This is a real series, baby.